What's up, guys? Beastcoast, Arturo Sanchez here, back at it again with another Guilty Gear video. I'm here with my homie LK, and we're gonna be talking about Axl. Apparently, this was one of our most requested videos. Me and LK, we're gonna go through the list of common moves and strategies to actually beat Axl. From my experience playing Axl, people definitely don't exploit certain gaps and stuff, and it can be really frustrating to get around in zoning and stuff. Especially when you don't know what said gaps are, and that's where LK comes in to fill us in. So what's up, brother?
Okay, yo, what's good? We're gonna talk about Axl. You might be like, well, you play Milia. How could you tell me how to play against Axl where you play one of his bad matchups? But I don't have my God air projectile to just force my way in, so I actually had to learn stuff about him this version. Yeah. So the main problem with Axl that a lot of characters have is a couple of things, right? So he has big moves. Some of them are disjointed. He's good at running away. He's really good from full screen. And the big thing is everyone has this new slow esports air dash where you jump off the thing. So that really, really, really benefits him because when you jump and try to IAD at him, he has more time to see what you're doing in case he didn't do anything. So if you don't want to watch the rest of the video and just want to like and subscribe real quick and you want the TLDR, you dash and you block. There you go. I do want to talk about
that is really important. Just like that advice alone, or the dash and block thing. Typically with any zone or any fighting game, it's they want you to get frustrated walking forward, but if you dash and block, it makes it uncomfortable for them in general. That's all the archetypes.
And the move I want to start with actually to go into a little bit more specifics is going to be his 2H. So that move's really good. It has the heavy counter hit, so the whole screen slows down. And for this move, this is why dash block is so important. So this move is only special cancelable, and you can special cancel into Rensen, of course. If you get counter hit, that sucks, but if you don't, it's fine. And on block, it's minus 18 on block and minus 15 on hit. So even if you get hit by it, he's still minus. So that means you have to just keep pressing. You can't be too scared of this move.
Yeah, you definitely got to walk and block it. And like you said, he can cancel into moves, but all the options are unsafe. If you do a Rensen and your opponent has the IAD read, that's easy counter hit combo. And then, of course, Snail, to catch people if they IAD. But if they don't do anything, then he's punishable anyway.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's safe even on... It's unsafe for Axl even on hit, so...
Yep. And as far as Snail is minus 20 on blockers. It's I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but you have enough time if you block Snail to dash and hit him. So it is extremely rare that they're going to pick that move when they don't have meter. So when they do have meter, they have a safe out. When they don't have meter, they're either going to do Rensen or the jumping back special move, and you can IAD or dash against both. So fighting this move well is really important. If you have the read on it, though, you can go for an IAD, but you don't have to always go for big reads. You can pressure him just by dashing and blocking.
Yeah, it's more important to make him uncomfortable in the spacing situations. You don't always have to go for a big boy punish, because sometimes when you do, you end up getting hit with big boy damage. So just wait for that one opportunity while pushing him to the corner and limiting his options. It really helps. So I had a question about Snail. So since would you in that situation, since you mentioned that you can dash punish it, is it better to button dash and do it or manually do it?
It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever works for you as long as you get punish. The next move I'd talk about is 2P. They buffed this a little bit. You don't see this move too much, but I'm only mentioning this move because it covers kind of the same space as 2H, and it has the similar thing of the cancel options are pretty limited. It's 2H, so there are Gatling options, but they're not a lot, really. And it's also minus 13 on block, so it's minus 10 on hit. So it's the same type of idea. He has to do something generally. You should dash block it. If you get hit, it's really okay. If you get counter hit, nothing really happens too, so there's that.
Because it doesn't get a conversion without meter. It's all you can really do is Snail or Rensen.
Yeah. So previously when the game came out, he couldn't convert at all without meter. Now he gets a little conversion, but again, you gotta push. The theme of this is you gotta push. What move is next? Let's stick with 2 moves. Okay. So another move I want to talk about is 2K. So this is a really, really good move that's really hard to deal with. Yeah, and it got buffed.
Harder to deal with.
Yeah. It was hard to deal with before, but it's harder to deal with because it's like a fast mash move that's low. So I'm not going to be talking about him blocking and using it. I'm going to talk about it in neutral because there's
spots. One of his best defensive options now, just to like check people. Because he used to be, like, I think it's like 5 now or something.
Yeah. No, and yeah, it's a 5-frame balance. 5-frame. But so in Guilty Gear for a long time though, he makes himself like super small. So there's spots where he'll try to do, normally he'll try to do 2S, let's say, but let's say like you manage to, the opponent managed to like get around it. So his 2K is like his like last wall of defense because he makes himself super, super small and he might low profile to jump in, trying to hit the 2S or trying to hit whatever hurtbox that would be left over, and then he can like attack you. So if you're above him and you didn't block a 2S yet, keep in mind that he can do this and there's not really a counter for it besides like waiting longer to press the button. And because if he gets under you, then he's gonna have the advantage because you're whiffing a button and he's gonna recover in time to like throw you, start his offense, run away, things like that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of his best outs now. Like I said, like the low profile thing, like you mentioned, and they sped it up. So it's definitely like a move you got to watch out for. So I guess the moral of the story is you got to keep like your offense tight, even tighter on him, because he will mash that move.
Yeah. So again, the main thing too is like this is for neutral. Like they'll use it. Like let's say you're like kind of floating above them. They're not sure whether or not they should 2S anti-air you. They might 2K. So even though the 2K doesn't actually anti-air you, he just gets like mega, like super small.
He recovers less because like you don't want to whiff 2S. So sometimes you might go for 2K if you're not sure.
So just keep that in mind when you're above him. So the next one would be JS. So unlike 2K, so we can really address JS. So this move is pretty hard to deal with. This is like his main way of repositioning himself because his backdash is kind of like, it's not like his backdash not fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's the best way for him to reposition himself is with JS, moving backwards. Like IID back is pretty fast, covers a lot of range, much bigger reward on counter hit than before.
Yeah. They get nerfed on the move though, so you can actually challenge it now, as opposed to just do it like kind of reckless before. Now, like, yes, actually think a little bit versus some characters. Yeah, like he's worked a lot better against it now.
So the best thing I can say about how to deal with this move is you need to read on the type of Axl player that you're playing against. So some Axl players are like JS bots. Like sometimes they'll be in a space where they're clearly advantaged and they should press their offense and they'll do ID back JS, and that's how you know they're a JS bot. Like they just want to hit you JS over and over. Some people are like 2H bots, so like they'll be in a spot and they'll be like, okay, well I'm going to 2H because it covers all his range. And some people are like kind of in the middle. So once you get a read on how they JS, as long as you're dash blocking, don't forget, as long as you're dash blocking, you can have opportunities to see how they like to use it. And then all it takes is one dash XP or like one good IED to meet him, because he has like a hurt box up there. And you can really change the pace of the game, because that means you knock him down, then he has to block, he doesn't have DP anymore, he doesn't have the counters anymore, so he has to sit there once you get a read on it. But there's not like a clear, this is what you should always do. You do need a read on the opponent.
Yeah, because it's definitely height dependent. You can do a jump slash at varying heights. Like you mentioned, you can kind of IED backwards, so it's best to just walk and block and like see how they see like what their zone out game is with JF. You can categorize and get more space accordingly.
So another normal, just a couple more moves for you guys. So jump heavy is another one. So he has one that's like Ramlethals, so it hits really, really, really deep. But
you can do it on the way up.
They'll generally do it like, it's one of those things where a lot of characters in Guilty Gear, they have like anti-airs kind of. So Millia is the shining example, obviously, but other characters have them too. But the difference between Millia and other characters is that once characters use their air options, because they don't have as many, you can be like, oh, they're either going to do this anti-air or nothing. So once Axl uses 2 jumps, he basically can only do nothing or JH. So the general thing you'd want to do is either meet him air versus air somehow. So like, if, let's say you play Mei, meet him with JD. If you're Millia, meet him with JS. If you're Chip, meet him with JK. Or you can try to walk under him. because once he jumps twice, he's not going to be able to turn around. So you can walk under him and wait for him to like kind of fall in and punish him.
Yeah, everything you said is facts. Like, you know, as long as you stay out of that range, you're good. And you know, JH is that only move that hits like downwards. So of course you can do it like when they run out of jump options. So
yeah, as a last thing too, if you have like this isn't that common, but some characters have anti-airs that aren't 6p that hit like this. So Milia's one, and if you trade with him and he's at a certain height, you can get combo anyway. Yeah, so keep that in mind too.
You also remember JH did get nerfed a little bit in the last. So yeah, that's definitely gonna help things if you're having trouble with that move.
And then the last one's gonna be Rensen. So this is, I think the English name is Sickle Flash. It's the charge special move. So this move you can't really mess with this move in a bunch of spots. The general guidelines I would give you is that one, if he like knocked you down full screen and then he does it, just to like FD the bomb part because it does a lot of chip, and then dash so that he can't spam it, because if you just sit there he's gonna do it over and over and over. That's thing number one. Number two, if you're airborne and he does it, definitely FD, because if he does the up follow-up, then you will land faster and you'll have a little bit more frame advantage generally. Yeah, really helps.
Yeah, a lot of people never FD that, and I get away with free pressure when they should be FDing at that specific point, because you got to reduce the frame advantage, and like his buttons are slow up close except for like 2K, you know.
And then the last big thing is that when he does the spinning rims, I don't actually know what it's called, but I always call it spinning rims. Any move like that in fighting games, it has no hitbox above him, even though it looks like really scary. You should IAD. Yeah, you should just do it. Don't be scared. Just tap that dash button, press the button. You'll get a fat counter. You'll get a combo. If you block it, then like you're kind of done. So just try. If you could do it on reaction, you just have to ignore everything in your heart that says don't jump at him and jump at him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. As long as you IAD, you're good. You know, like anime games have phantom hitboxes where like it doesn't look as how it appears on screen. So you have to fight against your better instincts. Also, you got to remember. Also, I guess people got to remember that Rensen is counter hit. So actually got to be careful with throwing it out. You know, so if somebody gets too Rensen happy, you know, and like you get a read, you be doing some big damage. You know, possibly the round.
But yeah, that's basically all the core Axl strategies. Despite me talking about like us talking about all these various moves and like what to do. Yeah, everything in the end, if you don't remember everything, you should just remember the dash block, because it puts a lot of pressure on him. He has to walk away or like run away from it, which means you can corner him. Once he's cornered, it's going to be kind of tough. And a lot of these moves, besides like the air ones, a lot of these moves are very minus on blocks. So like he usually has to do something or like peel off or something. So just keep that in mind. If you play the tempo, do that.
Yeah. If you dash block and you push him to the corner, he has to do things like IAD just to get out, or try to sneak in some way using double jumps, or even spending meter just to get out of the corner, which is not ideal. So like I guess in the end, you know, everything you said is true. You know, there's all of his core moves, but yeah, just dash block, guys. Please, dash block.
All right, everybody, let us know if you have any questions or any comments. Leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and we'll see y'all next time.